Hey guys, it's Deni here as always. A lot of interesting games have come out in the last few days that you can go out and play, and this is just the beginning of fall, and it promises to be very full of games, especially at the end of September. So in order not to miss all the new releases, click on the like, click on subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and let's go! Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description. Suddenly, the fifth part of Trine series was released, where Amadeus, Zoya, and Pontius once again go on a new adventure. If you don't know, it's an action platformer, and it can be played in co-op, up to 4 people. You are waiting for a beautiful world with good graphics and probably all the best mechanics of the previous parts and added to this game. For many people, this game is a childhood, but if you are not familiar with the series, it will not be a problem, because although the heroes are old, the story itself is new, and understand everything that is happening will not be difficult. Let's not reveal much details about it. I suggest you to find out what Trine 5, a clockwork conspiracy is, and 95% of positive reviews clearly hint you that you should try it. And this is Starfield, and I'm sure you know about it. I don't think I will tell you a lot of details about the game either. This is a very cool RPG with an open world and a huge number of downloads. Well, when you go somewhere, go out and so on. Infinite downloads. But it's a small thing. Overall, it's a good RPG, not great, not the benchmark of how to do, not Baldur's Gate 3 of course, but it's good too. And it's definitely worth playing in principle. How not the account to get a little scared? I suggest to do it first in the new Daymare, 1994 Sandcastle. It's basically a prequel to the last installment with the same name, but from 1998, not in terms of the game's release, but in terms of the year of the events in the game. You are waiting for just awesome graphics, as if it was some kind of movie, and we will play as a special agent, Delilah Reyes. Though we have 1994, it doesn't mean that you won't use weapons, various special tricks, and so on. All this will be and will help you to survive, because the place where you will go will be extremely dangerous. Even the enemies here is not a fact that die from the first time. It's quite funny, by the way. Frankly speaking, the game does not have any stars from the sky, but it is made well, so you can play in principle. I've had a bit of a reappearance since Golf in Madagascar, so why don't I tell you about the game Golf It, a game where you actually need to play golf. Actually, it has VR support, so purely theoretically, if you have a VR helmet, you can play it in a helmet. But it's not necessary. The task here is not only to score balls in the hole, but also to build these holes. There is an opportunity to completely create a map on which you will already play. Plus, add to all this Unreal Engine, not bad graphics, and the ability to have fun with friends. Well, what did you think? In such a game would be too boring, but with friends is already more interesting. Plus, the maps that you create are not always simple. Here's something mystical and magical can be created, and the creator mode can also work in co-op, and you can start from different ends. One builds the start of the map, and the other builds the finish, and you'll cross paths somewhere. It's fun. How about going down to the bottom of the sea in the interesting story of Stan, a kind of professional scuba diver who voluntarily doomed himself to loneliness in the depths of the North Sea? And the game, if at first we will be just underwater, then the longer you play it and the further you go, it becomes more surrealistic. The deeper you dive into the abyss, the deeper you understand Stan himself. We swim with the help of the bathyscaphe, of course, but we can swim outside of it too. there is also equipment crafting in the game to make exploring the depths more convenient. At the same time, it's 1979, there are no telephones and all this, but the world is an alternative to our reality, and retro, sci-fi, and even fantasy blend together here, ultimately giving you the opportunity to immerse yourself in a really cool adventure game. If you have nothing against pixels, there is a huge chance that you can discover a whole world of extremely interesting and unusual games, in particular the new Sea of Stars, turn-based RPG where we play as two characters named Sun and Moon, which, combining their forces, can create a very powerful magic. But unlike most JRPG, this game is not about pumping, clothing, or massive third-level abilities. Here, everything is much deeper, beautiful, and catchy artwork, hidden rewards for those who climb under every rock, and in general, excellent elaboration of the world. In fact, you are waiting for an epic adventure where you are in a fairy tale and trying to break through the dangers that the game throws up. In general, it's not bad. Well, and all aspects of typical RPG, of course, there is also without them nowhere. How about becoming a hacker? No, not in real life. It's better not to do that in real life. But in a game, it can be quite fun, especially considering the fact that here you get into a hacker simulator. It is true that there is only Prologue, but nevertheless, it is not badly made. You are sent on a secret mission to find the truth. They say that in the world, we are massively watched, and you have to find out if it is really so. We play from the first person, we have there a simulation of the computer in the computer turns out, but the hack is naturally maximally simplified that you do not strain. However, the commands and tools are quite realistic. Plus, you can troll and hack different public figures and earn money, and then unlock new software and new hacking methods. All in all, it's not badly done. And also, good old Eternium came out, basically a Diablo clone, which was on phones for quite a long time, and now got to computers. And what is the best part? Naturally, there is full cross-platform if you link your email and you can enjoy local Diablo only, which is quite nice. At the same time, on the amount of content, the game to the same 4 Diablo is not inferior at all. Here, content is probably even more. We create a character, as always, run around the world, beat enemies, knock out useful items, and just take out enemies one by one. Probably the most pleasant thing in the game is that you just get all the content for free, and that's certainly pleasing. It's not that it's new, it's more of a Steam release, since the game was already on the Epic Store. But still, if you haven't played it, or maybe didn't even know it was coming out, well, now you do. This is a bit different than the Saints Row you all know about. It's a completely different game, but it's done overall not badly either. As usual, we get into a little bit crazy open world, where we can do about the same things as in GTA, but with humor. Whether it is good or bad, to judge naturally you and not me. But in any case, the feeling from the game before was average. Perhaps during its existence, the developers have finalized the game, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. Nevertheless, I can't call it bad. It's just normal. If you miss open worlds in the style of GTA, you can try it. This is another horror game, in which you can fight back each of the monsters that you meet on your way. In fact, it's a copy of Resident Evil when you explore the world, walk around the map, collecting items and scarce supplies, and at the last breath you try to solve some puzzles, which then take you further through the game. Given the good graphics, this game can definitely be recommended, especially knowing that here, the monsters come out in the most unpredictable places, and often manage to scare. As for me, the thing is interesting. Well, and did it one person, which is also not bad. Here we have an unusual game with exploration and ghost hunting in the Victorian era. All this with an unusual visual design. Yes, on the one hand, the graphics in the game may seem a bit simple, but the game mechanics, where you, for example, jump on paintings where space is distorted, really adds to the game charm. Plus, not bad and dynamic combat system, interesting story, and at the end, we get quite an attractive project. You play here for a researcher of paranormal phenomena who himself is a fan of using psychic psychic abilities. Your old friend offers you a case to figure out where his daughter disappeared. You take it and find yourself embroiled in a sticky web of different secret events. In general cool, taking into account that the laws of physics in the game, as if the laws of physics do not apply at all. It looks really appealing. I am sure that each of you is familiar with the famous Hercule Poirot and Agatha Christie's detective stories. Here in this game, you plunge into the abyss of everything detective in the face of the famous detective, and in the heart of London, as there you do not meet Sherlock Holmes, I do not know, but if so, you will have to solve cases by your own efforts. The main quest is simple. Our detective will go to London with a simple, it would seem, assignment to take a painting to the exhibition. Alas, during the opening ceremony, it will be stolen. Well, you have nothing else to do but to take up the case and reveal the true villain and the reason for the theft of the painting. If you're a fan of detective games, you can play it. Well, that's kind of the end of it. Thank you for watching the video to the end, and I hope you found something interesting for yourself today. Well, with you was as always Deni, and have a nice day.